extent of violence and disorder surrounding Old Firm matches has been exposed by Strathclyde Police. For the first time, the force has released detailed crime figures relating to recent games between Celtic and Rangers. Well, our reporter David Henderson is here to tell us more. David, what are the details?
Well, what we've been given today is evidence of a direct link between Old Firm football and violence on our streets. And it's the latest figures from the Celtic Rangers match on Sunday which highlight the problem. Strathclyde Police tell us that they arrested 550 people on the day of the match. All of them were drunk. Violent crime on the day was up by 113% on the previous Sunday, so it more than doubled. And perhaps most worryingly, domestic violence rose by 88%. So this wasn't just young men fighting young men. The vast majority of cases were drunk men going home, then beating up their wives, their partners, their girlfriends. And one senior officer told me that something similar is happening every time there's an Old Firm match.
I think it'd be shocking to anybody looking at the figures. We've always been aware that we have an increase in incidents, an increase in violence, and we've always policed it. I mean, I think it's appalling in this day and age that people think it's acceptable to drink all day and either commit acts of violence against people in their house or commit acts of violence in the street for absolutely no other reason and an excuse that there's a football game on.
So, David, what can be done about this then?
Well, what these figures show is that football violence is no longer just happening at games. In fact, matches are now less violent than they've been for a very, very long time. The crime instead is happening in communities, in towns and villages. It's mostly drink-fuelled. It's much more difficult to police because it's so dispersed. But the ingredients are clear. Now, the Assistant Chief Constable we just heard there told us the police are doing their bit to tackle the problem. The government is taking steps to tackle problem drinking, but he said it's time now for individuals to act responsibly. But of course, this can only increase demands for much more radical action to tackle drink-fuelled violence.
OK, David, thank you. The Moira Jones murder trial has been adjourned until Monday because the